What is up, everyone? Welcome to another live stream. I am the American Nomad, Rav Holly. Thanks for joining me for another live stream here on March 19th, 2020. We got two people already in the room. Hey, guys, what's up? Go ahead and hit the chat. Let me know who's in here. Oh, Lee Knotts. Hello, Leah Nortz. What's up? How is everybody? We got two people in the room. Random Nomad. Oh, good. I didn't miss it. I can change my phone a bit. Awesome. Good to see you guys. Decided to try to do this a little bit earlier than I usually do. See how that works. See if it gives people a better chance to get in here, and or if it's too early and people still have too many things going on. We'll see by how many people we get in the room. Just wanted to touch base with you guys. See how everybody's doing out there in this very strange time that we're living in. It's a little bizarro world, if you ask me, but it is what it is, and it's affecting all of us. It's not just Americans. It's not just the Chinese. It's not just the Italians. It's kind of like a global. It's a global pandemic that we're all. It's the human race. We're all in this race together. Leah Nortz, your son is in Oakland, huh? How are things going up in NorCal? I've heard some crazy things going on up around there. How's he doing up in Oakland? I know LA is it's right on the edge. I know right before I came on, I guess the LA city and county officials are doing a live stream. There's over 3,000 people watching that live stream. Not sure what they're announcing, but evidently they're announcing some new guidelines, I guess. I don't know exactly what those guidelines are. I'll probably check that out after I get through streaming here. Has anyone seen, it's the lockdown? Yeah, that or up in Oakland, they're on lockdown. Yeah, they've been on lockdown up in the Bay Area for a few days now, which I'm surprised it hasn't reached us here in LA. But like I said, they're announcing something right now on YouTube, new guidelines, I guess, LA County officials. So that may be what they're announcing is us here in LA going into the lockdown. Not quite sure. I'll have to check that out. We got 3 people in the room. We got 1 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Yeah, it is. I guess I'll start off by saying I have been working. Most people don't know, or most of you probably don't know. I've been actually working Monday, Tuesday. We worked Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. And we had a last order. Hey, Ambo Life. What's up, guys? Devin and April. Good to see you guys. How are you guys? You guys getting out of California, I heard. I heard you guys were on the fast track to exiting the Golden State. Just had a pop-up come through. 4 relatives dead from the Rona. We're not going to call it the demon plague this time around. YouTube are laxing a little bit. Oh, you're in Alabama Hills. That's actually a great place to be, Ambo Life. Is there anybody out there with you guys? That's some place that I wouldn't mind being right now, because it's not too hot out there yet. What's the temperature out there right now, Ambo Life? Because it's really nice. If you guys don't know where Alabama Hills is, it's really a cool area. You just don't want 1,000 people running towards you guys, Ambo Life. We got 4 people in the room. Hey, guys, thanks for joining me for another live stream here on American Nomad. I am the American Nomad, Rav Holly. Plan on doing this live stream until the wheels fall off. We see about 10 rigs around us. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. That's actually more than's usually out there. It's usually pretty desolate out there. I've actually been out there when there was nobody out there, when I was the only one out there. That was a while back, though. It's gotten a lot more popular these days. Is everybody, hopefully everybody is Lee Nort's SIP shelter in place. Yes, everybody's trying to shelter in place. Keeping their distance. I was back to my story. So here at my work, we had Oh, Lamont, what's up, buddy? Driving home, Lamont just joined us. Hey, buddy, where are you at these days, Lamont? Where are you? Are you in? Because your closest one is about 100 to 200 feet away. That's a good distance, Ambo Life. Just realize, guys. Devin and April from Ambo Life, if you guys are out there and those rigs are out there and you're there more than 14 days, then that's a quarantine time. You guys could actually knock on your neighbor's door and see how they're doing, but I wouldn't do it any time before like the 14 days. Good to see you, Lamont. Leonort's, yeah, that family of 4 died, happened, think in New Jersey, another 4, 6 in the hospital. Yeah, it's I've been for people, let's see, driving home is in Missouri at the moment. Lamont, you're in Missouri, driving back to Tennessee. How's things over there in the middle in mid-America, Lamont? How are things going over there? It's getting kind of crazy here in LA. People are really on edge. And pretty much everybody has been laid off in this city. So I officially got laid off on Sunday, but I love Serena so much, who owned the company that I worked for, that I came in Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday because she had one order left of hoodies. There were 8,000 hoodies that had to be unboxed, unpackaged, and then printed, and then boxed, and then put on a truck for shipping. So I actually worked Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then we finished up about this time yesterday. And then after that, her and I got together and we discussed, the future, and it looks like it's pretty bleak. So, she told me I could stay in this space right here until basically the landlord run me out, but she's pretty much out of business. So we're pretty much out of business. We don't know, if this just lasts a couple of weeks, we can probably come back here, but because of the downturn in business, we're no longer going to be able to, she's never going to no longer be able to afford MySpace. Remember MySpace? She's not going to be able to afford to pay for this, my studio anymore. So I just got this thing. I literally just got this thing dialed in and the way I want it. And I'll have to be moving out of here. Probably have to move all this stuff into, more than likely, I'll have to move all this stuff into my storage in Orange County or something. I don't even know what I'm going to do at this point. It's just, it's all up in the air, but I just plan on doing YouTube for right now, for the foreseeable future. See what happens. Let's see. Driving home, Lamont says it's not bad. I'm working like crazy, truck driver. Oh, I bet, Lamont. Yeah, you guys are going to be part of that. Even if we go into a full-time quarantine, I read a government mandate that all truck drivers are all going to be able to keep working. If you're in the food industry, I actually got a thing from this government for this huge food industry company that their distribution center for grocery stores. And it was a thing from their company to tell them to keep this sheet of paper on their dashes in case we go into quarantine and they get stopped by the National Guard or police or any officials stop them, that they have to show them this piece of paper that they're in this. The government has made this name of employees that are going to be able to keep working during quarantine. So Amber Life asked me, are you packing up your step van, Rav? No, I'm not. I mean, what's going on right now? I've got a lot of people asking me, like, why aren't you headed for the hills like everybody else is? I had a buddy of mine, just Rob, Amber Life. Rob from RTR and Schoolie Palooza. Rob just contacted me and asked me if I was going to be heading out of LA, or if I was still in LA. And I explained to him I'm still in LA. At this time, I have no plans of leaving LA. And he's like, why on earth not? Like, why wouldn't you be getting out of there? Yep. And Lamont says, yes, we haul grocery warehouses all the time. So yeah, Lamont, you'll still be on that. You'll be on that exempt list to be able to keep working. But anyway, Rob, my buddy Rob, asked me, like, why are you not packing up, getting ready to get out of LA? In short answer, a week ago, or last weekend, I had to go and get Bertha, my other rig, out of my friend's driveway in Fullerton, and I had to drive it across town over here, about 40 miles to where my work is. And I don't have a place to store Bertha right now. So Bertha and my step van are both parked out on a street here in Los Angeles, and this is not the best neighborhood. So I know if I were to take off in the step van and the Snap-on truck and leave Bertha here, she would, they'd destroy it. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place until maybe I can find a place to store Bertha. If I find a friend or something that's got a driveway that would let me park Bertha on the street in front of their house, somewhere, something, I just don't want to leave it on a, I don't want to leave Bertha on a, I mean, at this point, I'm almost done with it. I'm ready to burn the damn thing down. I'm tired of messing with it, but I would like to get the money from it once it sells. So I'm just kind of holding out, trying to see if I can find a friend that I can park it in their driveway or park it in front of their house or something for the foreseeable future now. As a matter of fact, though, is I've been taking a shower in Bertha and I've been using the stove in Bertha. Yeah. Amber Life says, yeah, Bertha may not be there when you get back. More than likely she wouldn't be, because if people figured out that it was kind of abandoned, they would, in this neighborhood, they would destroy it, strip it, take all the stuff off of it. Random Nomad says 1 second commercial ad. 1 sec commercial ad. Oh, you're there was an ad going on. I apologize for that. But this is the only job I have left right now, so you guys have to tolerate my ads. Right now may be a perfect time to sell both on us and both as a bug out vehicle. Yeah, that's very true, Ambo Life. I've thought about that as well. All right. Welcome, Random Nomad. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome back. We got 5 people in the room. We got 4 thumbs up. You guys are killing it tonight. Sell Bertha as a bug out vehicle. Yeah, I've actually had a couple people. Chevy Life, what's up, Trav? Good to see you, buddy. How's things going in your neck of the woods over there in Texas? So my buddy Trav, I think everybody that's in the room here was here in our last live stream, and my buddy Trav, he is in Texas, close to San Antonio, outside. He's actually south of Dallas, by Lake Whitney Lake. But he has family and an ex-wife, and his kids are in San Antonio. So San Antonio is actually a hot zone for Texas. A Random Nomad, I'm trying to sell my Toyota. Right now, other than a bug out vehicle, is probably not the best time to be trying to sell anything. I don't think anybody's buying anything right now. Trav, Chevy Life says not worth the crap. Yeah. It's getting weird, man. It's getting weird. I don't know what's going to happen. None of us know what's going to happen. We're all kind of in limbo. But the one thing that we can all agree on is this is history. We're living through a part of history. It doesn't matter what happens. If it's, if this thing fizzles out and it doesn't kill near as many people as they're predicting, and no matter what happens, we're a part of history. This thing will be talked about hundreds of years after we're already dead and gone, when, like we talk about the Spanish flu and that kind of stuff. Oh, Random Nomad, it's a Toyota motorhome, so it's like a Dolphin. Random, I know the feeling, my Toyota. Oh, it's a Sea Breeze. Gosh, I got to read. It's a Sea Breeze. Okay. Yeah. That'd actually be a good bug out vehicle because it gets a really good fuel mileage. So Chevy Life, my friend Trav says the hospital admitted 2 patients that they would not test, exposed to everyone all day, and they test them today and they're positive for COVID-19. Yeah. Oh man, driving home, Lamont says, dang, I was in Dallas 3 days ago, enjoyed me an In-N-Out burger. Oh, okay. Yeah, I forget they have In-N-Out over in Dallas now. That's actually us Californians are the In-N-Out mafia. If you're not sure, Lamont, when you're in Dallas, try Whataburger. I actually still prefer Whataburger over In-N-Out. Now, don't get me wrong, I do love In-N-Out, but I love Whataburger. And Whataburger's open 24 hours a day. Random Nomad says his Toyota Sea Breeze gets 16 miles per gallon. That's not that great, Random Nomad. My freaking Snap-on truck gets 12, and it's diesel. And I'm hauling around a huge house. Chevy Life, so now my 17-year-old has been exposed. Good times. Man, yeah. A lot of the a lot of the it's not really their fault. It's just you think they would be more prepared, but a lot of our medical infrastructure is not prepared for this epidemic. There's people here in LA that there's a big YouTuber who's not financially destitute, who's very, very wealthy. He has a YouTube news show, which is kind of, he gave me kind of the idea for the Nomad News. His name's Philip DeFranco, and I watch his news show literally almost every day, about every day, because it's kind of just a current events. So it gives you a good update on what's going on with YouTube, what's going on in the world. If there's anything that's to talk about, he talks about it in like his little 15 to 20-minute episode. And a couple of days ago, his wife was showing all the symptoms of Rona, and he took her to the hospital to get her checked, to get her tested, and they didn't have any tests. They had no test to test her. They just told her they're like, we don't have any tests to test you. All we can tell you to do is go home and just self quarantine or self isolate. So that's what she's doing. So it's they keep reporting all of these numbers. You know, they're telling us, you know, air quotes, all of these numbers about how many people have the virus, how many people are testing positive for Rona. But my question is how are those numbers? How could you even pay any attention to those numbers if they don't even have tests to test 9 out of 10 people that are walking in to get tested? I will say right before I came on, 2 Los Angeles Lakers have tested positive for Rona. So it doesn't matter who you are, it will get you. Random Nomad says in and out. Random Nomad 14 to 16. Okay. Chevy Life. So now my 17. Yeah, I read that. Let's see what else. Where are we? Okay. Nomad says 14 to 16 on his Seabreeze, Toyota Seabreeze motorhome. Driving home. Oh yeah, they're good too. Okay, yeah. I like Whataburger. I really do like Whataburger. I'm a big, huge Whataburger fan. It's like an old school burger, and we can't really get those in California. So every time I head to Texas or I get in that, I eat it all the time because I can't get it out here. Random Nomad in and out is in Arizona too. Yeah, they've pushed west or east. I'm sorry, they've pushed east all the way to Dallas. I mean, they're all the way to Texas now. It used to be just pretty much California. Driving home says Del Taco is awesome. That's funny you say that, Lamont, with driving home, because in California, I eat Del Taco. It's the cheapest you're going to get as far as food, but it's kind of looked at as the trash of the trash when it comes to like Taco Bell is supposed to be like a Bentley, you know what I mean? And Del Taco is like a Toyota, you know, and it's like a 4-cylinder Toyota. But I have no problem with Del Taco. I eat it. It's all good. It's just funny to hear you say that you love Del Taco. I will tell you another one, Lamont. If you're ever in Dallas, my favorite is not Taco Bell in Dallas. My favorite in Dallas is it's like Taco Bell, but it's called Taco Bueno. Man, their tacos are so good, and their bean burritos are so good because their bean burritos have that authentic pinto bean taste, like when it's like homemade. Like if you've ever had, my mother-in-law was really Hispanic. She was like full on Hispanic, and she would make like bean burritos, and they have this different taste to them. And Taco Bueno has that same taste in their burritos. So Trav from Chevy Life says 4 doctors reviewed the CT scan of lungs, negative flu results, and they wouldn't test because no travel history. They're going on CDC guidelines, still ridiculous. Yeah. You know, it's not going to just be them, Trav. I have a feeling that's going to be a lot of us. You know, it could be any of us. It's going to be going through this. Random Nomad Whataburger is in Phoenix too. Really? I didn't know that. God, I'm in Phoenix from time to time. I didn't know that. I will look up Whataburger the next time I'm in Phoenix. I think Del Taco is so much better than Taco Bell. Wow, really? Random Nomad, you think Del Taco is better than Taco Bell? That's crazy. Yeah, most Californians don't view it like that. I like Del Taco. I eat Del Taco way more than I eat Taco Bell. But it's viewed right the opposite. Like Taco Bell is supposed to be like a, you know, like more gourmet than a more gourmet restaurant than Del Taco. Del Taco is supposed to be like the bottom of the barrel. You know, when you talk when Camo Dave talks about the bottom of YouTube, well, that's the bottom of the fast food. Is supposed to be Del Taco. But I like Del Taco. I don't have a problem with them again. Chevy Life says how about roses? I don't know roses, Chevy Life. Driving home, Lamont says I'll try that next time. Yeah, Taco Bueno, man, in Dallas. Taco Bueno, it's still my favorite. Ambo Life says, what are your thoughts on Polo Loco? I absolutely love El Polo Loco, and it's actually not bad for you. That chicken is very healthy. If you're going to get fast food, El Polo Loco is probably about the best you're going to get. I can tell you if I moved back to Dallas full time if I lived, back in the, where I used to live around there and there was no El Polo Loco, I would miss El Polo Loco like I miss Whataburger. Rosa's Cafe in Texas. I've never been to Rosa's Cafe in Texas, Chevy Life. Never heard of it. Probably wasn't there or something when I was living there. It wasn't in Dallas anyway. There was Papacitas and Papa Do's and stuff like that, which is a real high-end restaurant. But I'm not sure about Rosa's Cafe. Leah Nortz says, I like Taco Bell's bean burritos, but I like Del Taco's Del Taco. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same, but I like the I don't eat Taco Bell that much, but I really enjoy Taco Bell. I don't know why. I don't know. I eat Del Taco a lot more. It seems like there's a lot more Del Tacos in California than there are Taco Bells. And for me, it's all about logistics and parking when you have a big truck like I do. So a lot of times the Taco Bells have a really small parking lot and it's really hard to get in and out of those. And a lot of times the Del Tacos are in the parking lot of like a shopping center. So I can pull into anywhere in the shopping center to where one of the stores in the shopping center is not so busy and there's plenty of parking for me. And then I just park my rig and I walk over to the Del Taco. Taco Bell is usually it's a standalone restaurant by itself with its own parking lot, and most of the time the parking lot is packed, so I can't get my big ass Snap-on truck in there. So let's see. Leah Nort, I like Taco Bell's. We did that. Driving, love it. Ambo, yeah, I do love El Polo Loco, and when it comes to trying to eat healthy as far as fast food, I think El Polo Loco is about as healthy as you're going to get when it comes to fast food. And Brad Pitt used to be the chicken guy for El Polo Loco back in the day. That's one of his first jobs. Leah Nort says, where do you have Polo Locos? I know I've heard of them. They're in California. They're big in California. And what it is it's a flame broiled or flame grilled chicken. They cook their chicken on big open great flame stoves or whatever, or grills. And but it's a Mexican. It has like you can get like green peppers and pinto beans and rice and tortillas, and it's really good for fast food. It's really, 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 really good. I could eat El Polo Loco 2 or 3 times a week, no problem. As far as fast food goes, if I could have Chick-fil-A like on Saturday night, El Polo Loco on Sunday night, Taco Bell on Monday, Del Taco on Tuesday, I'd be pretty set. Freedom Dove, what is up, Freedom Dove? Good to see you, girl. Thank you for joining us, Freedom Dove. We got 7 people in the room. We got 5 thumbs up. I do appreciate the thumbs up, guys. We don't get paid any money off the thumbs up, but it helps the YouTube algorithm and it helps push our videos out there. So I always really do appreciate the thumbs up, guys. Good to have you in the room, Freedom Dove. How are you doing? Sounds like me. I love Mexican food. Yeah, I love Mexican food. And I will say that in California has a different Mexican food than like Texas. Texas has what they consider Tex-Mex. And I would take Tex-Mex any day of the week, 365 days a year over California Mexican food. Now, I will say California Mexican food is a lot more authentic. It's real like Mexican. Like if you drive down to like Tijuana, there's not that big a difference in the food. It's very, very authentic Mexican food in California. Like when I first moved out here, was with my buddy and we ordered a steak burrito, and they asked me if they said it was this it was string. They asked me if I wanted it wet, and I had no idea what the heck they were talking about. What do you mean wet? So they gave me the burrito, and then it's supposed to be a steak burrito, and it's got like the stringy beef in it, like what do they call that? Gosh, it's a type of meat, Mexican meat, and it's very authentic down in Mexico, and they use it in a lot of their stuff. But it's asada, but can be a stringy beef, and then wet. They pour this orange, wet, watery sauce all over it. And where I was from in Texas, if you order a steak burrito was like a white tortilla, a nice white tortilla, like a real flour tortilla, big flour tortilla, and it looked like they grilled a couple of steaks on the grill, and then they cut the pieces of steak up and they shove it in a burrito, and they put guacamole and cheddar cheese and onions, and that's not a burrito in California. For you guys that do not know about California Mexican. Yeah, barbacoa, Ambo Life. Thank you so much, barbacoa. Yeah, I can remember the name. Devin and April, barbacoa is what it's called. And I'm not a big fan of barbacoa. Like in where I'm from and grew up in Lubbock, like the Mexicans there, they would have barbacoa, and they would have barbacoa from cooking a goat in the ground. And that's just wasn't my thing. It's got a weird. I like wild game. I like deer. I like elk. I like rabbit. I like pheasant. I like quail. I've shot and killed all those. I love it. I've skinned all of those myself, cleaned them. I used to have rabbit foot that I made myself. Remember back in the day, some of us that are old enough, everybody had like a rabbit foot keychain for good luck. I used to make those myself with leather from rabbits that I'd shot, killed, and skinned when I was a kid. But anyway, yeah. So here you have barbacoa, and it's so here, for instance, a California burrito will have like barbacoa, which they call asada or steak. It'll have barbacoa, which is it's a wet beef. It's a wet meat. They'll have barbacoa, and then they'll have like cheese but the craziest thing is it's full of potatoes. They fill it full of like soggy potatoes, like French fries, but not French fries. Like French fries are crunchy, but if you cook French fries just in grease and you don't let them get to a point where they're crunchy and they're kind of gushy, and that's what they fill the burrito with. So every time I order a California burrito, I like the California burritos, but they stuff it full of fries because I guess fries are cheap or potatoes are cheap. So I always order it without the damn fries because it's ridiculous with like half the damn burritos for these soggy fries. I'm not a big fan on California Mexican food. Now they have the little $2 street tacos and stuff like that you can get off a taco truck, which is not a taco. It's a corn tortilla. It's a soft tortilla, little round corn tortillas, and then they'll put like asada, or they'll put pastor, which is pork, or they'll put chicken tacos, and these little tacos. Those are pretty good. I like the tacos off a taco truck. I'm not gonna lie, but if I had to choose between Tex-Mex, Mexican food, and California, you can take California Mexican food all day long. I'm not as far as a fan on a scale. To me, Tex-Mex is on a 10. I could eat Tex-Mex almost every day of the week. California, a 3. I give California Mexican food a 3. But I also give Mexican food like a 3. But but that being said, with Mexico, I've been to Mexico and went into restaurants and ordered food in nice restaurants, and it had absolutely a beautiful meal. It's a different California's got their own little spin on the Mexican food, and it's not my favorite. And with all the things going on in the world, we must be hungry because we're sitting here we've been talking about food for 25 minutes. I love potatoes, but not in a burrito, Ambo Life says. Oh, that's me too. I love potatoes. I actually will do I actually have on a couple of my Vagabond Days videos, I actually took potatoes and I cut the potatoes. My ex-wife actually taught me this, and just make a potato burrito. But what I do is I take a potato, a full potato, and I cut it, but I leave the skin on it, right? I don't peel it. I leave the skin on the potato. I wash it. I leave the skin on it, and then I take an onion and I cut off, the end of the onion and I dice it up and put it in there. And then I'll take like a sausage. You take like a sausage, like a hot link sausage or something like that, and you cut it up and you put it in there and you just mix it up. And then you just make these potato burritos and you put a lot of mustard on it with some salt and pepper. And oh man, they are so good, and so cheap. Random Nomad says, guess I am the odd one. What did you say, Random Nomad? I missed it. Oh, you like potatoes in your burritos. Yeah, I guess a lot of people do, but I like a potato burrito like I just described. But the potatoes that I'm talking about, I cook the potatoes until they're golden brown. They have like a little crunch to them. They're not this soggy like the ones in the California burrito are these long, soggy French fry type things. I don't like that at all. Freedom Dove says, I don't think I'd like potatoes in my burrito. Sounds weird to me. Yeah, it is kind of weird. Taco Bell has a couple with potatoes in it. But Taco Bell has what was their burrito? It was called a cheesy potato burrito. Oh my god, those things are so good. But unfortunately, it's like the McRib at McDonald's. They only have them a certain time of year. The bean and cheesy potato burrito or whatever it was. Man, that cheese in that burrito and Taco Bell, that thing is amazing. Adam Ambo Life says we love curry. So you guys like Indian food. I'm not a huge fan. I've my buddy Noah got me going to this little Indian restaurant over in Fullerton. They actually make really good Indian food, and they do the big tortillas or whatever they're called, the pitas or whatever it is. They look like a tortilla, but it's a huge piece of pita bread or whatever, and it has like some kind of green pepper on it, and then they sprinkle it with garlic. Oh yeah, that's really good. I actually really like that, but I'm not a big curry fan. Sauteing the onions now. I hate you guys, Ambo Life. April from Ambo Life, she really likes to cook. And that's one thing I miss. That's the thing I miss. One of the things I miss the most about being married is my ex-wife was a great, great cook. She wasn't when we first got married because we were just kids, but she really became a really great cook over the years. April says, I just bought my Instapot. That's Lamont telling April he just got his Instapot. Yeah, April is a big Instapot. She is the Instapot guru from Ambo Life. So Lamont, you took April's advice. You took April and Devin's advice and bought an Instapot. Good for you, buddy. That's going to come in handy as the world ends. Breakfast potatoes at the Taco Bell. Lee Nort says, yeah, I've never really done. I don't think I've ever done breakfast burritos at Taco Bell. I don't think I've ever had breakfast at Taco Bell. There it is. Random Nomad says the cheesy bean and rice burritos are good. Yeah. Yeah, those are good too. JBK. What's up, JBK? Good to see you, buddy. We got 5 people in the room. Freedom Dove says, I don't like curry. It doesn't smell good to me. It didn't to me either, Freedom Dove, for a long time. Growing up in Texas, curry wasn't something that you saw much of. But since I've lived out here in California, a lot of Asian people like curry. I date Asian girls a lot of times. So found myself in Indian restaurants and different Asian restaurants that use it. So I'm not going to say I've acquired a taste for it, but I don't mind it. I used to think it smelled funny myself. Freedom Dove says, I'll have to cook for you, Rav. I'd take you up on that, Freedom Dove. I love a home cooked meal. Ambo Life says, truth. Freedom Dove says, I love my Instapot. I can run it on my Energy Apex. The Energy Apex, that's one of those little portable battery systems, right? Freedom Dove says the mini IP. Leonort's, I seen April's Instapot beef and cabbage video. I've got to watch that. I saw it come up the other day in my recommended. I've got to watch that myself, Leonort's. Leah, that corned beef was off the hook. Braggers, Ambo Life. And, you know, Ambo Life was over here just the other night, and they didn't cook me diddly squat. I'm just giving you guys a hard time. I do have to thank Ambo Life. If it wasn't for them, they're the ones that shuttled me in their ambulance, which is their house. They shuttled me all the way across LA to pick up Bertha to get her out of my buddy's driveway, who was literally throwing a fit. So thank you guys so much again for that ride. I can't thank you enough. It really took a weight off my mind because he was texting me continuously telling me to get my RV out of his driveway or he's going to have it towed away. So thank you so much, guys. I do appreciate that still. Random Nomad. I think Del Taco's jacked cheesy bean and burrito. Guys, we have got to change the topic. We're just talking about fast food. We're all got to be. I'm hungry now. I haven't eaten today. I had a Pop-Tart this morning. Now I'm starving. I was thinking about going and eating before I did this, and I was like, nah, I'll go eat afterwards. Now I wish I went and ate before. You guys killing me. Freedom Dove says the Apex has a 1500 watt inverter. The mini Instapot is about 800 watts. Yeah, 1500 watts is perfect for van life, Freedom Dove. You don't really need more than 1500 watts, I've found. For most things, unless you're going to be running some power tools or something. I don't know what you're going to use. It's more than 1500 watts. Unless you have a big induction cook stove or something with more than one burner, then possibly. Amble Life, you were 3 hours late on the interview, Rav. That's true. I'm always late. I'll be late to my own funeral. Why don't you guys rub it in? It took me 3 hours to get it set up. I got people messaging me over here. Yeah, gonna leave that alone. Yeah, you know, Freedom Dove, I actually need to get one of those energy apexes or whatever it is, or the Jackery or something. You know, one of my buddies, the bread trucker Paul Barger, he told me to get a hold of these people and try to, you know, get some of their stuff for videos. But I'm the horrible at doing stuff. I'm fine if they contact me, but I'm horrible at going begging them for their stuff so I can put it in my videos. But evidently, I guess that's how you get it done. It used to be right the opposite. Back in the beginning, like if you had a decent YouTube following or if you had a decent YouTube channel with decent production, companies would contact you and say, hey, we have we have this little hard drive, you know, would you test our portable hard drive and do a video about it if you like it? And yeah, so I would do that, but that's evidently it's switched around where these companies now want you to contact them and say, hey, I'm a YouTuber. Can I get your Energy Apex? I want to do a review video about it. So I didn't understand that. So I used to do a lot of equipment and a lot of equipment reviews on this channel, and then it all dried up. I stopped doing equipment reviews, and then until I met and hung out with my friend Paul Barger, I didn't understand or realize that they didn't contact you anymore. You got to contact them. Let's see. Or the Kodiak Random Nomad said, yeah, I'll take any one of those, but I will say really quick, the Metro just went by. Can you believe the Metro's still running? They've shut down, the whole LA's all shut down, but the Metro's still running. The train. That's the last place I want to be, is on a damn train with somebody with a virus. Anyway, so on to the portable power packs. Some people call them portable generators, but I think all of us in van life know what we're talking about. The little Jackeries and the Energy Apexes and all these little portable rigs. I will say that I like the Jackery. I don't like the way the Jackery looks because orange is not my favorite color. I'm not into their color combo. That's one reason I haven't been all crazy about getting one. I've been waiting on something that would fit my truck better. Color wise, solar generator. Yeah. Random Nomad solar generator. Cause a lot of them do have solar connection. So you can hook up a solar panel to them. But the reason I would go with the Jackery right now is because if you watch Will Prowse, who he is the solar guru on YouTube, and I personally hung out with Will, and he's a great guy. But when I'm trying to learn something about solar, I always watch his videos. And he's tested a lot of these solar generators, and the plugs, if they have like a cigarette plug, or a lot of times they don't hold a continuous, or they don't have a 12 point, was it 12.1 volts? Some of them are lower than 10. So if you have something, it's not gonna run if you plug it into the cigarette lighter. Like there's some things that are not, they'll trip out on low, too low. So the Jackery is it's a constant. That's what it is. It's a constant 12 volts on the Jackery, on the cigarette plug or any of the plugs. It's a constant 12 volts. It doesn't, as it drains the battery down, it doesn't drop in voltage. Freedom Dove said, let's see. Leonort says, California governor just announced statewide stay-at-home order. Oh, I knew that was coming. I figured that's what it was. Freedom Dove says, I'm going to get a couple of Jackery 500s to run my two 12-volt fridges. I'll lose efficiency on the Apex since the 12-volt plug is unregulated. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Freedom Dove. That's why I would not get anything other than the Jackery until those other ones get their, I mean, why would you not regulate your plugs to be 12 volts if you're building a portable solar generator? I don't understand. I don't even get that. Freedom Dove says, I can turn off the low voltage protection on my fridge, but I lose efficiency and can't run it as long as the Jackeries. Yes. Every one of these companies that are making, and most of them are China, but the companies that are making these freaking little solar generators, not having a regulated 12-volt plug is absolutely retarded. I said the R word. Yeah, it's fucking retarded. Just stuff like that just irritates me. That's why I look at Jackery, even though I'm not a big fan of their color combo or the way the Jackery looks. The Jackery is way a step above any of the rest of them because Jackeries have regulated plugs. So if you're trying to run a refrigerator like Freedom Dove is, you're not going to have that problem. If you have something that has an unregulated plug, your refrigerator is going to kick off on a low voltage alarm unless you figure out a way around it, which it looks like Freedom Dove has. Freedom Dove says, I save the Apex for my 110 volt appliances. Yeah, that's what you'd have to do. Ambo Life, it's time for some spiced rum here in the ambulance. You guys are just rubbing it in. Freedom Dove, it's really stupid. It can't cost that much for regulating plugs. No, that's why it makes me, if you cannot tell, it really gets under my skin because it doesn't cost them it doesn't cost them that much more, but they're that greedy that they won't just do that little added step to make their solar generator that much better. And some of these solar generators are not cheap. And the reason I'd buy it is because I'd want to run a refrigerator off of it. And then you can't because the plug's not regulated for 12 volts. Come on. Freedom Dove says, I didn't realize this when I bought the Apex. I don't think I would. Yes, that's why if you're going to buy a solar generator, you need to watch Will Prowse's videos because he will teach you these things. That's why I watch his videos because he doesn't have an electrical engineering background or anything, but he understands electricity and 12 volt and 24 volt. And I'm building a 24 volt system for my Snap-on truck. And he's the one that's teaching me how to do it. It says, Random Nomad says, no beer tonight here for me. So let's talk about here. I'm here in my office in LA, and this is a garment facility. Ambo Life has been here, so they understand the dynamic of it. But it's like a fenced in little small, not a huge, but it's a fenced in warehouse type complex. So there's several different small warehouses in our complex, and we have one, and then there's a dye house next to us. Whoops, I just hit the light in my hand. There's a dye house next to us, and they have one, and then there's a car thing up front. They have one, and then there's a big like 8-foot fence, steel fence that closes everything in. But in this neighborhood right here, this neighborhood is, without being too derogatory, what I call them now is just border hoppers. They're border hoppers. They're Hispanics that are just from across the border. They're just across the border. They got here maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, but this entire neighborhood of Florence are border hoppers. Nobody speaks English. Even if you go to like McDonald's, you go into a McDonald's, the people that work in the McDonald's don't speak English. If you go to it's a mix of about 50-50 on the fast food restaurants. Like at the Pizza Hut, they speak English in there. They're Hispanic, but they speak English. But even the grocery stores in this neighborhood, most of the cashiers don't speak English. So if I go into one of the Mexican grocery stores to get some tortilla chips or something, I will walk and listen to the cashier person talking to the person to see if they sound like they can speak English. So it's mostly so Freedom Dove says illegals. You can say it. So yeah, it's a lot of illegal immigrants in this neighborhood, and they're just going about their business. In this neighborhood, this parking lot today, I was hoping, because I'm just as guilty, because we worked Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday knowing all these things was going on. But we had this one order of 8,000 hoodies to get out. And Serena was going to have to do it by herself, and I wasn't going to have that happen. So I came in and helped her so we could get it knocked out and get it done. But after we got it done yesterday and we got it on the truck and shipped out, that's it. We're done. We're closed for business, closed indefinitely from right now. So I'm parked by my work here, though. So I'm still here in the area, in the neighborhood, with both of my rigs. So I wanted to do this live stream today. So I got up and took my dog for a walk. He's doing much better. And mates got a Pop-Tart and just fiddled around and said and decided I'd come into the office so I could do this live stream by 6:00. When I walked into the parking lot at 2:30, 3:00, it was full. There was not one place to park. Every one of these factories up and down the street, every single one of them are open. They're going about their business. The food trucks, the taco trucks are parked on the street with 25, 30 Mexicans underneath there eating their tacos. They're just willy-nilly going about their business. While everybody else has been laid off, they're just doing like it's no big deal. So it's kind of strange. Like across the park over here, there's a library. You would think they would close the library. No, they haven't closed the library, so the park is packed. The park where I park my rigs, it's packed. Tons of people over there playing basketball, and it's just vacation for them. Let's see. Let me go back in the chat here. Random Nomad says, I heard the smaller rock pals is a good bang for the buck, but they are only 300 watts. Yeah, 300 watts for me. I mean, I don't know. Like if you're trying to charge your phone or something, to carry it with you to charge your phone, or I don't know, 300 watts ain't much. Freedom Doves, I didn't realize that. Yeah, okay, I've seen that. No beer tonight from Random Nomad. Ambo Life says Will Prowse is the best. Yes, I love Will. He's a good guy too. Random Nomad says my fridge only runs on propane or electric plugged into. Yeah, because you have a regular RV. You have a regular RV fridge. Random Nomad. If you buy one of the little portable 12-volt fridges, like the expensive, what's the brands? There's like one Nordic, was one of the brands. They're super expensive, but you can actually plug them into like they plug in like a regular appliance, but they run on 12-volt. Most of them run on 12 or 110, I think. Ambo Life, also check out Explorist Life on YouTube. Okay, yeah, I'll check that out. The guy, Nate, who runs it is really knowledgeable. Okay, Ambo Life, I'll check that out. Freedom Dove says, it's crazy how many illegals are here hurting our job market. Yeah, it's been that way forever. People wonder why the last 20 years, that the minimum wage hasn't risen. Like it rose, it was rising for years and years and years. Like I remember when it was $3.35, and then it went up to $4 and $4.25, and then $4.75, and then $5 and $5.25. I remember all those days. But people don't understand, when the flood of people started moving into this country, and it stagnated the wages because they will work for cash for cheaper. So the wages stagnated right there. You know, when I was a kid, there was not that many people. Like if you went into a fast food restaurant, it was just regular Americans working there. Now it's mostly in California here. It's all Mexicans working the fast food restaurants. Driving home, Lamont says, I don't miss living in Los Angeles. Yeah, I'm pretty much getting ready to get out of here too, Lamont. If I could sell Bertha and have that little chunk of change in my pocket, I would not be in LA right now. But now I have to figure out what I'm going to do with all this stuff. You guys can't even imagine. I bought all of this stuff to fix up this studio and get this studio going, and now it's all going to have to be packed away and probably put in storage. Let's see. It's just crazy how many, let's see. Random Nomad says, what kind of dog do you have? I have just a little Chihuahua. He's just a little Chihuahua. He was actually not even my dog. A girl that's a really good friend of mine, Anna, it's her dog, and she started traveling a lot. And so I was watching him all the time. And then she started traveling. She was staying in New York. So she let me have him around November 1st or 4th or something like that. And I've had him ever since November, before around Van Build. I think I had him I had him, I think, when I went to Van Build. But I love having him because I had a little dog named Charlie that was a Chug. He was half Chihuahua and half Pug. He had like a Pug face, but a Chihuahua body. And I had him for 10 years. And man, he was my best buddy. So when he passed away like 3 years ago, I decided not to really get another dog. And then this one just kind of fell into my lap. So, and he reminds me a lot of my other dog, Charlie. Random Nomad says, couldn't I just buy a 3-way RV fridge too? Yeah, you definitely could, but they're not cheap if you're trying to buy a new one. They're $1,200, $1,300, $1,400. But the great thing about them is they run on propane, they run on electric if you run on shore power, and some of them even run on 12 volt. The 3-way, if it's a full on 3-way, it will. The fridge that I have in Bertha, my RV, she's a 2-way. She'll run off 110 if you plug into shore power, and she runs off propane. But she's a great fridge because I always heard, like, if you're like parked on a slant because it's an ammonia system, that most of those RV fridges won't work or they won't cool. Not mine, not the one in Bertha. It works fine. I think remembering it being like $6 an hour. Yep, Random Nomad. Cool, right on. Same price of some of those 12-volt fridges. Yeah, that's why I would just get the 12-volt fridge, because I'm not a big fan of the RV fridges running on propane. It's nice to be able to run them on propane. I'm not going to lie, if you don't have electric or the electric to run a fridge. But I would much rather have a 12-volt, just a 12-volt refrigerator, because like there's moisture in an RV fridge for some reason. I don't know. It just doesn't cool like a regular 12-volt fridge does. And if you're in a hot climate, it really loses its efficiency. The ammonia or the propane fridge does. And the other thing you have to worry about with a propane fridge is they're very prone to catch on fire, because you have a pilot light that's running that keeps that refrigerator cool. So there's been tons of people that have pulled in with their RV. They've pulled into a gas station, and the freaking fumes from the gas pumps, when they pull the pump off and put it in their gas tank, and it pushes the fumes out of their gas tank from their empty gas tank, those fumes drift right up into the pilot on their RV fridge and catches their whole RV on fire. Random Nomad says, and I know about the leveling fridge. Yeah. You can get it. I mean, every RV still comes with a 3-way fridge. But yeah, they're just, I would rather have like, what is the nice 12 volt, the Norco, or I would rather have just but you know, they're like $1,500, but I would rather, if it was me, I would rather have just a 12 volt I would rather spend the money on the 12 volt and then have the solar to run it. That's why if I ever, you know, since all this is going on, I might actually be able to get my solar panels installed. And I have like 10, I have 10, 400 and 425-watt solar panels. And I want to get 4 of them installed on my Snap-on truck. Random Nomad says, I never ran mine on propane. Yeah. And I know about the leveling fridge. Mine's too old to have a 2-way. Looking to solar. Yeah, that's a way to go. Get a fridge. Like I have a regular 120 volt fridge in my truck. And once I get the solar hooked up, I'll have more than enough solar to run that regular refrigerator. It's a little 10 cubic inch. It's like a little apartment. Dometic. Yeah. Dometic is the big one. Dometic is the number one. And that's what I have in birthday is a Dometic. Random Nomad says, I may just keep my Toyota. I probably wouldn't be a bad idea, Random Nomad, especially with all that's going on in the world. Leah Nort says, where did you find your Snap-on van? I found my Snap-on van on Craigslist, and it was down in a town called Sierra Vista, Arizona, which is southern Arizona, down close to the border, south of Tucson. Ambo Life says, we have a Dometic. That's right. Ambo Life does have a Dometic. It's a very nice Dometic. It's like the type I would want. Random Nomad, I got a Dometic. Yeah, I think Dometic's probably the most popular. Yeah, Freedom Dove says, yeah, no thanks. I'll stick with my 12 volt fridge. It doesn't have to be level either. Yeah, very true, Freedom Dove. Random Nomad says, but it needs a bit to be self-contained better and don't know how about hooking up solar. Yeah, solar's not that hard, Random Nomad. And you can get like a little 200 watt or 400 watt solar system for, you know, $400 or $500. That's including your solar panels. All right, guys, we're at 56 minutes here and 53 seconds, going on 57 minutes. I'm going to end this thing, try to end it right in an hour. Anything you guys want to talk about before we end this thing? Any questions you got? It's good to see you guys. How's everybody holding up in the quarantine? Is everybody pretty much quarantined, sticking to themselves? I think being nomads, those of us that are nomads, we pretty much stick to ourselves anyway. We kind of have our own little cocoon with our rigs. So this whole quarantine thing, yeah. I mean, we can still drive everywhere and we're not outside, and we go from our house and we can drive and go back in our house. And, you know, that's when I think we're set up for this whole thing better than most people are. Random Nomad says, peace and positive vibrations later days. I need to get back out. Yep. Good to see you, Random Nomad. Thanks so much for stopping in, buddy. That's why I try to keep this one short today. So anyway, really quick, guys, just want to touch base with you and let you guys know that since Leonard says I've been staying in most of the time. Yeah, I think most of us have. So I just want to say, since I've been laid off from SVO, but I am planning on keeping this space as long as I can possibly keep it. So all I plan on doing is YouTube. So I'll probably doing a live stream either 3 or 4 or 5 times a week. I don't even know right now. What times are best for you guys? If you guys could pick what time that I live stream, what time would that be? Freedom Dove says, my connection is getting bad again. I'll catch you on the replay. Stay safe. Bye, Freedom Dove. Yeah, we're going to end it. But if anybody wants to let me know, like, what time they think the best times, what is your favorite times for live streams, let me know. But anyway, so just keep an eye out. Leah Nort says this time is good. So 6 or 7. Okay. Yeah, everybody's saying 6 or 7. So 6 or 7 Pacific Standard Time, because that puts you at 10 on the East Coast. JB says I'm Pacific Standard Time, so this time is good for me. Okay, perfect. All right. So I'm in Central Time Zone, random nomad. So yeah, you're a couple hours by after us. So if we do it at 6, it's 8 over there for you, I believe. In the Midwest, yep. That'd be Texas as well. Yeah. So anyway, after I get done here, I'm going to go ahead and try to get a episode of Nomad News started. So maybe I can have that up by tonight or tomorrow. That'll be on my other YouTube channel, which is Nomad News. I'm sure all of you know that. And that's all I'm going to do while we're in this quarantine thing is probably just hang out and do YouTube and live stream and do Nomad News. And as long as things doesn't get too hectic and they don't start looting and tearing things up and stuff like that, I'll probably just hang right around here and keep to myself and just do this YouTube thing. JBK, 6 more years for me and you're retired. Okay, JBK. Yeah, awesome. All right, guys, that's 1 hour. That's going to do it. I want to thank you guys for joining me again on this live stream. I know we didn't have a whole lot to talk about today. There's a whole lot going on, but I think we're all just kind of in like surreal life. It just kind of seems like we're in bizarro world. I think we're all a little in shock with all the things that are going on. So anyway, you guys take care of yourself. Be sure to practice social distancing. I definitely do. I most definitely do suggest that. Don't be hanging out right around a bunch of people. And, even, if you see somebody, you got to be a little bit leery of them about like walking up and walking right up on them if you don't know who they've been hanging out with and where they've been. That goes for all of us. Anyway, guys, good night. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. And we will see you maybe not tomorrow on the live stream. We'll see how I feel. But if not, probably the next day. Anyway, that's going to do it, guys. Peace, love, and chicken grease.